Hi guys, as Halloween is around the corner, I wanted to show you how to make this super simple skull square. That's a great way to use up your scrap yarn. For this project, you'll need 2 colours of any weight yarn with a corresponding hook. For this yarn, I'll be using a 5mm hook, so let's get started. Starting with the white yarn, or whichever colour your skull is going to be, make a magic circle. So to do this, we'll wrap our yarn around our hand, just like this, holding the tail, and cross the yarn over at the back. Now grab your hook, and you're going to go under the first loop and pick up the back loop. And give it a twist, and then go back under the back loop and pull it through the loop on your hook. And there you have your magic circle. To start round 1, chain 4, and this will count as a treble crochet. And after this, we're going to make 6 treble crochets into the circle. To do this, wrap your yarn twice around your hook, insert it into the circle, pull up a loop, pull through 2 again, and pull through 2 a third time. And that's a treble crochet. So wrap twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. And continue that until you have made 6 treble crochets. So I'm just finishing off my 6th treble crochet, and in total you should have 7 because that chain 4 counts as your first treble crochet. Now we're going to work on the first eye by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then make a treble crochet into that magic circle. Now to work the nose, we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then make another treble crochet into that magic circle. And to make the second eye, we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and make a treble crochet into the magic circle. Now it's time to close the circle by pulling on that end piece of yarn nice and tightly. And then to close the round, we're going to make a slip stitch in the top of the starting chain 4. And that's the end of round 1. So you can start to see the shape forming. Let's get started with round 2. I forgot to mention that you will need a stitch marker for round 2, so let's get started with that. To start row 2, chain 1, and starting from that chain 1 space, we're going to make 7 single crochets. So our first one goes into the chain 1 space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in this 4th single crochet is where we're going to place our stitch marker. And let's continue to make 7. So this is 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to work into the chain 6 space with 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now working into the chain 4 space, start with a slip stitch, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, this does not count, and then we're going to put 4 treble crochets into that chain 4 space. So I'm just finishing off my 4th treble crochet. Then I'm going to chain 3 again, which does not count, and then make a slip stitch into that same chain 4 space. Now working into the chain 6 space, we're going to repeat what we did on the other side, which is 8 single crochets. After completing your 8 single crochets, you want to make a single crochet into that last treble crochet. I've accidentally done a slip stitch here. It doesn't make much difference, but please make sure you do a single crochet. And then into that very first single crochet of the round, make a slip stitch. And that's the end of round 2. You want to cut off your yarn now because we're finished with this colour. And then tuck that piece of yarn round the back, ready for round 3. For round 3, get your second colour yarn. I'm using black. Make a slip knot and pop that onto your hook. Now we're going to make a single crochet straight into that stitch marker. So just insert your hook. We'll get rid of the stitch marker. Yarn over, pull up a loop and make a single crochet. So that's your first stitch. Into the second stitch, make a half double crochet. Into the next, make a double crochet. Into the next stitch, you're going to place 2 double crochets in there. One, 2, then chain 2, and into that same space, place another 2 double crochet. And you've made your first corner. Into the next stitch, you're going to place 1 double crochet. Then over the next 4 stitches, make 4 half double crochets. So I'm just finishing my 4th half double crochet. Now into the next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Into the next, place 2 treble crochets into 1 stitch. That's 1. And 2, then chain 2 and place another 2 treble crochets into that same stitch. And here we're creating our second corner. Into the next stitch, make 1 treble crochet. So you can see we've made one side with 2 corners so far. Now we're going to skip over that chain 3 and work a slip stitch into the next 4 treble crochets. So we'll skip this chain 3 and go straight into that first treble with a slip stitch. That's 2, 3 and 4. Skipping over the chain 3, make a treble crochet into the next stitch. And then into the next, make 2 treble crochets into the same. Chain 2. I'm sorry about this, it's really hot here right now, so my hands are a little bit slippery. So chain 2, and then place another 2 treble crochets into that same stitch. 1, and get the second one in there. So slippery. Okay, all done. Now into the next stitch, make a double crochet, and across the next 4, make 4 half double crochets. After your 4 half double crochets, make 1 double crochet, and into the next stitch, make 2 double crochets into the same stitch, chain 2, and place another 2 double crochets into that same space. Now you should have 3 stitches remaining. You may need to pull that last bit of yarn from your white close a little bit. And what we're going to do over the next 3 stitches is 1 double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. And to close the round, place a slip stitch into your first single crochet. And that's the end of round 3. For our 4th and final round, we're going to start with a chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and then make 4 more double crochets. This is the 4th double crochet. Then into this chain 2 corner space, place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 2, and place 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. Now working along the other side, make 10 double crochets going across until you reach the next corner. Now we're back at a corner. We're going to repeat what we did on the other corner, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. Now to go across the bottom, again, make 10 double crochets going across until you reach the corner. Now we're at another corner. Repeat the same pattern. 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. And again, make 10 double crochets across the side. When you reach the corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. And I'll meet you after that final corner. So now we've finished that final corner. Make 5 double crochets across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then to close the round, place a slip stitch at the top of your starting chain 3. Pull a long loop, cut your yarn, and that is your skull square completed. Now you can use this as a hanging decoration. You could make a blanket with it, use it for table settings or coasters. And you can also check out my video for my skull square sweater to see how I put these together. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.